Baba TV, man. You know, we here, we in the building at the event. Everybody's here, the House of Consciousness. I'm here representing the West Coast House of Consciousness, Do the Knowledge Radio, Planet Africa Network, Seattle, Tacoma, regional area, you know what I mean? So we up in here, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
And first and foremost, I want to say to you, brother, thank you very much for them logos. This is the brother that makes all those powerful logos for Brother Sinetta.
Yeah.
This is the brother right here.
I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
So I used to highlight the importance behind liberation is the vision, right? I said we talk about Kemet, right? Let's talk about the dynasties and the pyramids constructions, right? That was an transgenerational vision. When one generation died out, the next one had to pick it up and complete it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have these transgenerational visions now. We just be talking everywhere. There's nothing. So when you talk economics, if you want to weaponize economics for a vision that can translate to a transgenerational vision, then you talking, because then you're going beyond just us getting straight A's and all being millionaires and everything's peaches and cream. You see what I'm saying? So weaponize it, and then we could talk. Then let's all get black businesses for the purposes of getting the fuck up out of here, for the purposes of doing, you know, for rebuilding. To, you know what I mean? So
purpose behind having
exactly.
People understand having the education is a purpose. Having institutions and having an economic base is a purpose.
Right.
It's supposed to build you, sustain you, advance you as a people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We gotta
That's
have
the
a
whole purpose, but there has to be principle, purpose.
Right.
Therefore,
what are we
real
doing
unity
it for?
have.
Just to be millionaires and get straight A's and then what? It's all good?
You know?
We're not mad at white people no more for what they did. We remain in America now when everything's all good. Now we could just be happy like the Jews and the Asians, and multiculturalism is living strong. That's it.
Where you from, brother?
I'm from Tacoma, Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
Seattle.
Yep.
And that's where the actual
there's a lot of money out there.
That's where the actual next debate is going down there too, right?
The Revolutionary Exodus. Yeah, well, I think
it's not a debate. It's a lecture, a panel discussion.
Yeah,
right?
panel discussion on this, because we want you guys to bring up. Let's talk about Exodus. Like, how are you going to make that happen? Yeah. Which country are you going to go to? How are you going to
Exodus?
Right. Provide us a strategy. What are you going to do? How are we going to? What government are we going to practice? Are you going to still be a capitalistic government, a democratic government?
Ask you a question now.
Go ahead.
I'm going to evaluate the question from another angle, okay? Now say that you say an exodus, which means a vast majority. Okay, making an exodus. Okay, so it's a vast majority or a group of people in unison agreed in the idea that it is time to make a transition from where they considered home, the way they were rooted at, or were there long enough for it to become their home, become a mass of people, and then to move to, you know, making a vast exodus. So ideologically, a lot of us will have to agree on the exodus. And a vast majority of our people making in unison to go back. A lot of people are comfortable. This is where they're going to be. This is where or even if they're not comfortable, a lot of us feel like. So for everybody to be on the page, it's more, I think, intact with what is relevant and what is critical and what is lacking right now to build an economic structure and principled unity. And nationhood, nationalism is going to be needed. It's going to be the foundation. It's going to be what glues that together. You know what I mean? That's the basis and of the reality of what we can expect to have that's conducive in real time right now here. Everybody's not going to just go on an exodus. So when we say or an exodus, well, let me know everybody, let's be real. We don't got to get all science into deep and go into statistics. Many of them going to be here. Right. Even we should network and have people over there. But hold on, that you have to have a Pan-African viewpoint there, because that's Pan-African. But that has to be established. Everything happens in a process, and it evolves and it grows. But the people have to participate in that. The vast amount of people are not going to want to make an exodus before they would realistically step it up and start to unify and build nations and militias and value educate, use economics as a weapon here, even first, before they make that change. And then they have to have nationalism
it has to happen here
and Pan-Africanism as their political ideology to want to a vast amount of people to want to participate, sponsor, or subscribe to that.
Here's the point I want to highlight, tagging on to what Brother Sankofa said. So basically, I feel like whenever we talk about a lot of these things in terms of a future here in America, we sometimes overlook the fact, and this is why I emphasize Exodus, because I'm a proponent of Exodus, right? Because really, you know, when you break shit down, the U.S. Census reports that in 2050, white people are no longer going to be the majority, right? And if you study the statistics of the U.S. Census, it's going to show, and statistically, the Hispanic population is going to double, if not triple. The Asian population is going to double, if not triple. White people are going to go from like 65% to 48%. But you know, black people, we currently make up 13 to 14% range, right? Do you know in 2050 what our percentage is going to spike up to? We're going to be at 15%, maybe 15.3%. So now in 2050, every other race, now we're really a minority. Now the Asians then caught up, the Hispanics then skip way past it. So you think you're gonna have a future here, and then we just gotta
preach.
You got to roll out?
Nah.
Okay, all right, come get in. So basically, so another thing is like the Center for Disease Control. You know, you got to understand, we rank the highest in mortality rates, abortion rates, heart disease, you know, diabetes, everything. Then we got 1 million black men in prison. Then we got gang banging and black on black crime. So you wonder why black people's numbers are stagnant to the point where in 2050 we only climb 1.5%. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else then double and triple. So a lot of people, we talk about economics thinking we got a future here. You think it's bad now? Go ahead, get your black businesses while you still ain't doing shit, while everybody else still rises above you. They got way more businesses than you in 2050. You're the minority in 2050. You think the white man got his foot on your ass now? Wait till 2050 come when you 15.1% and everybody done passed you up, even the Asians. And so that's why I emphasize, so even if we did get black businesses, black schools, this and that, man, you ain't got no future here, because they constructed it in such a way that the longer this shit extends, the more weaker you will get. And then here's another thing, man, like the white man, we ain't even a threat to the white man all like that. The white man don't care if we go stand in the corner and die, because he don't need us no more. He done advanced now, he done monopolized on the world now, he done got all these other races now. If we die, white supremacy will continue to exist. Go ahead.
And also, there's no white supremacy without black compliance. Let's remember that. I never heard anyone say that.
True.
But remember this: there's no white supremacy without black compliance. And the thing that Brother Priest was just saying, that the pink man has done his work on the minds of the masses of black people, people that, like us. Now, how were they able to do that? They educate. Malcolm X said, "Only a fool will let their enemy teach their children." Right? So who were we taught by? Right? Who were our parents taught by? Now, what's even crazier is that we see that same system going abroad. So not only is the blacks descendants of former prisoners of war, you know what I'm talking about, getting this miseducation, but the entire globe is. Right. Through American and Eurocentric imperialism.
Yeah, another thing I want to highlight about the importance of Africa is that in Africa, whether or not, you know, people will say, oh, Africans ain't gonna want you. You know what? I'd rather take my chances, because why? There's a billion black people in Africa. There's a billion black people in Africa compared to our 40 million here. You know what I'm saying? So you talk, people want to be revolutionary.
3 billion black people globally.
So people want to be, you know, like, we got to be realistic about this.